Hello. Good to see you.
All right there, Revenants. Welcome back to Code Vein in the Road to 100, where today we are going to learn the value and the power of why the Argent Wolf Kingblade is such a boss weapon. Now, we all know this weapon is absolutely insane, and this build today we are going to be running is EOS, and this is a strength of B. This weapon requires a strength of B, so we are at the bare possible minimum of the amount of damage that this thing is going to do. So keep that in mind. However, the oddity about this sword is that it is a strength and mind scaler mainly for the gift triggers on the heavy and charge attacks that it has. So keep that in mind. It's a very heavy weapon here, at one of the heaviest in the game, and so it's hard to find this weapon on a blood code where you're at least normal mobility, and then it's even harder to make sure you are quick mobility with this thing. So this is going to be absolutely ridiculous, a little broken, and that is completely fine with this weapon interacting with impact wave. So watch how things go, and you'll understand very quickly why this thing is why it's a boss weapon, why it is a final weapon, and why it is just absolutely crazy of a weapon to actually interact with, and why if you have a chance to get this weapon, please do. Get several copies, get 2 copies, get many copies, and just, enjoy literally deleting everything in the game in 1 or 2 hits. Most of the time, it is 1. Let's just poke this guy down so we get some time here. And we'll delete him. And we'll delete him. So, what would you like to know about this weapon, other than it is a one-shot monster of so many things in the game? And the cool thing about it is the first attack, it can do the chain effect that we were talking about a couple episodes ago, while at the same time, the charge attack also strikes the ground. And at the same time it's doing balance damage to strike the ground with impact wave, it also has a projectile coming out which also deals balance damage to the enemy. So this weapon is almost a guaranteed stagger. Also, the charge attacks, obviously they do massive amounts of stagger and balance when they attack something, and so having the ability here to basically delete everything in your way is just unbelievable here. Now we'll go for a charge booster just to show you how fast this thing can just ruin things. So there's a stagger, it's like perfect stagger lock almost all the time, because the interaction between the projectile and the impact wave. So absolutely a wild weapon. And there again, just doing regular attacks allows you to damage folks, and stagger them just by, standing there. So absolutely bonkers. And the awesome thing is, we are this weapon just is absolutely bonkers. And the cool thing is that we're able to be quick mobility with this thing, which is very hard to do with this sort of a weapon. Okay, this guy, absolutely a difficult enemy. Very difficult enemy. As you can see, he is very powerful. Let's back up here. Now obviously we have almost none of our build active, and so keep that in mind. But you can see every time we hit this guy, we are staggering him without precision, without impact wave, and without most of our build active. Absolutely hilarious how this weapon operates, and for, you know, this is max difficulty. Keep that in mind. Max difficulty. And we are just demolishing everything in our path. And if you have a, as you can see, I-core recovery is kind of a little bit of a problem for us here as we go along. But as we do move through here, that's fine. We can go for a couple backstabs here and there if we need to, when we need to. There's nothing that says we don't have to get backstabs. You know, we can go for backstabs, you know, easy peasy, no problem. Whoops. Okay. We'll just launch this guy, and then we'll launch him again. And we'll heal, and we'll launch him a third time, maybe. Nope. Okay. So we got lucky there because we were able to launch him without being in any kind of danger. Well, where am I going? I'm just not even paying attention to where I'm going because I'm having so much fun deleting everything in the game here with just a few whacks of the sword. So this weapon just absolutely demolishes the competition here. And you can see that was like 8,000 damage or something almost. Very, very, very respectable amounts of damage. 6,800 there. And so when we get to the executioner fight, we will head to the depths and do the fight again, because it's a little wacky how this fight actually happens, because the entire time you are fighting the executioner, you absolutely need to have timing in place to make sure that you know what is happening. Whoops. Yeah, you go down there. So that's also the funny thing about this weapon is that it has a crazy ability to knock people down. So you're able to just push folks anywhere you want at any time you want, because these guys especially, they don't have any ability to survive you know, one hit like that. So you can push them down. Just absolutely ridiculous. So yeah, with the executioner fight, if you have a good eye for timing, it is critical to success. And we could go and do the missile here. There's really no reason to. We can just head up and delete her instantaneously if we want. But let's go ahead and rest, just for Mia's sake and for safety's sake, for, you know, just being a good steward of what we have and not being too cocky. But when you get this weapon, it definitely seems like a very, very, very powerful weapon when you use it. However, the craziness of this weapon comes out with impact wave, pairing with precision, the amount of damage you can do, and as well the amount of damage you do. All of that coupled into one wonderful package here that just absolutely ruins, I mean, nothing can withstand this. So here we go as we get into the fight with our lady here. Get ready to get excited for just the sheer raw massive amounts of power of damage that this weapon can do. Okay, she's staggered. Okay, let's let her transition here for a second. Now, very important to time this next attack. And she's staggered again. Okay, that is like EOS. The bare minimum of requirements for this weapon is EOS, and it's absolutely insane what this weapon can do to the executioner. She can't even stand up, and when she does, she sits right back down. Getting 2 staggers on the executioner, 2 full-on staggers where she drops to her knees, is exceptionally difficult. She has an insane amount of balance in phase 2 because they want you dodging her slides more often in phase 2, and so Shift put it in there that her balance increases in phase 2, so it's very hard to get her into stagger. And so here, as we get into the fight again, it's just a little bit crazy how the sheer amount of power that's coming out of the Argent Wolf King Blade here is pun intended staggering, because the executioner is not a simple fight, and this sword just literally made her look like a joke. And you can see there, timing is everything, and she's down. Okay, now she's going to transition, and let's get our stamina back and charge attack. And she's down. And she's done. So, I mean, that is just like, you can bank on it, you can count on it, you can absolutely like plan on that. So again, this is just one of the craziest weapons in the game for single target damage. Now, if we're going for one of those giant enemies, obviously, like we've seen the Black Greatsword in the past and what it can do and everything. However, it is a willpower scaling weapon, as you can see here. It's not a mind scaling weapon. So this is a bit of an oddity here with the Argent Wolf King Blade being strength and mind. That doesn't happen very often, and Eos is one of the best strength and mind codes you can get. There's also Demeter, however it doesn't have Demeter does not have a C in willpower, so that can, or a B in willpower, sorry. And Ishtar is actually pretty good in this department, as it has more stamina than what we have now, and Demeter has less stamina than Eos, but more damage. And Ishtar has more willpower, so you can pair this with some other things if you want to, but it has less mind, so you get a little bit less damage, but it has a B+, so you get more damage. So everything kind of works out between Demeter, Ishtar, and Eos, but Eos is the bottom of the pile, being a strength of B. And being the bottom of the pile, you would think like, oh, well, maybe this is something a little different, whatever. But as soon as Impact Wave starts to engage, because of the projectile that is coupled with the weapon here, it just absolutely demolishes everything. So typically what you've seen up to this point in time is the weapon striking the enemy and doing some balance damage with Impact Wave. However, we have the added bonus on a gift trigger here from the Argent Wolf King Blade to have the ability to smash the enemy with huge damage. We have huge balance damage, and we have precision applying to the weapon as well. So absolutely bonkers incredible here how we can go about executing the executioner. So hopefully you guys enjoyed that 14 minutes to get through the Howling Pit and explain everything and kill the executioner twice. So that is the power of this weapon, and we are not even using Jack or anybody like that. I mean, if we're using Jack, she's over almost phase 1, and if we're doing Jack Louis, then she's definitely over phase 1. I mean, she might be in phase 2 in one hit. So it's absolutely crazy how this powers up and how it is shared, you know, amongst the amount of damage. So absolutely crazy here. Definitely, you know, I can't recommend this weapon enough. You have not seen me play with this weapon very much in the game through the entire Road to 100 series. This is one of those special episodes which perfectly exemplifies and characterizes why I don't use this weapon very much. It's just so insanely crazy overpowered that as soon as you start using it, there's almost no other reason to use anything else, because it deletes everything in the game with such prejudice that nothing can really stand against it. So if you're looking for the best weapon in the game, the best way to get it is just beat the game. I mean, and then you're gifted with it, and then wow, all of Vayne is before you to smash and slay at your heart's content. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this. Argent Wolf Kingblade, you know, can't say enough good about it. Highest, you know, crazy rated weapon in the game here. And when you start pairing up with balance issues like precision and impact wave, and we aren't even using like firestorm with this, so if you wanted even more balance damage quickly, you could use firestorm with this, and just absolutely put her down all the time. So absolutely crazy here. Wonderful sword, good build, and great boss to use this against. So hopefully you guys enjoy this. We'll see you later. Take care. Bye.